Welcome to Your Need to Know. I'm your host, Catherine Reed, and today we are going to be talking with the Assistance League of Northern Virginia. Joining me is Kathy Jackson, who is the president, and Cindy Burgess, who is the strategic planning chair. Thank you ladies both so much for being here.
Thanks for having us, Catherine.
So you've been around actually a fairly long time, and I did not know that until I actually saw a notice on the Fairfax City Patch about your upcoming event in April, and I reached out and said, I think we should do a show because I've never heard of you. So do you want to give a little bit of background about how the Assistance League started?
Our chapter or the National Assistance
Well,
League?
so there's a national, so let's start there.
Exactly
There's
right.
a national organization.
Yes, there is a national organization. This was begun in the 1890s. Prominent women in the LA area got together and realized the potential of volunteerism, reaching out to those in need. And so it percolated for a while, and then they incorporated National Assistance League in 1935. And from then we've just grown and grown and grown. We have 120 chapters nationwide in covering 26 states with 22,000 volunteers. But it's interesting that you say that you've not heard of us, even though we're a small chapter compared to some others. Many chapters on the West Coast, we have 57 in California. Community members there have never heard of them either. It's just a well-kept secret.
Wow.
And that's our vision is to really become a national organization, all 50 states, and that's what we're trying to do. Since 1935, but we're more intense now with our initiative that way.
So this chapter started when?
Our chapter was chartered in 2004. And
that's 15 years.
Yes, that's 15 years. I was one of the founding members of transplants from the West Coast came to the East Coast and said, Assistance League is such a wonderful organization. I think we need to do some research and see if there's a need here in our community. And of course, there's always a need.
There's always a need.
Yeah, it's a well-kept secret around here as far as the need is concerned, because with everything is so affluent, or so it seems, but the folks that need us are hidden, and we want to bring them up.
And that's interesting you say that, because I've had people on the show talking about One Fairfax, which is the initiative that basically acknowledges that there's an affluent Fairfax and there's a Fairfax that has pockets of tremendous need and poverty.
Tremendous.
And there needs to be some equity driving making it One Fairfax. Mm-hmm. And so organizations like yours have actually been addressing this through direct services. And I think that's important. I mean, you need to have good public policy, but the immediate need is to deliver services to students who need them. So, Kathy, what are some of the programs that the Assistance League focuses on?
Well, first of all, we serve 11 Title I schools in the counties of Fairfax, Prince William, and also the city of Alexandria. And we touch the lives of approximately 6,000 children a year. Wow. So we have we have two umbrellas of programs. The first one's called Operation School Bell. And our signature program, our largest program, is Weekend Food for Kids. And we're very excited about that program because it really helps to meet the needs of children in our community. So what we do is we partner with Dominion Energy at their location in Herndon, Virginia, and we couldn't do it without them. We meet there along with other community volunteers, and several businesses send employees, and it's a good team building effort when they send people.
That's a good point.
They support us greatly as well. And of course, the Assistance League members. And what we do is in assembly line style, we pack approximately 1,660 bags of food.
Wow.
And Intelsat from Tyson's Corner, they supply an extra 150 bags. So altogether, we deliver 1,810 bags. And Dominion sends their employees and their trucks, so they help us deliver to 6 different schools. So it's been a very successful program, and we do this once a month, every third Thursday, usually. Next month, it happens to be on April 11th because of the school calendar.
Oh, right. Well, that's impressive, the partnership with Dominion particularly, because it's not just that they're giving you money and their employees, but the fact that they're helping you transport such a huge number of these bags is impressive. I wouldn't have even thought to ask a partner to do something like transport and deliver. That's impressive.
And we're told how grateful these children are. the children evidently come to school, their attendance has improved. They usually are there on the Fridays where the food is delivered,
Right.
and they come very excitedly to school. They're looking forward to picking up those bags of food, and often that's the only food that these children have for the whole weekend. So we fill gallon-sized bags. They cost us about $4 a bag.
Do you buy the food in bulk, and what kind of things do you put in the bag?
Okay, well, we put in things that the children it's easy for them to
Make
manage
themselves.
on their own,
Yeah.
to make on their own, because often their parents aren't home on the weekends. So we put in cans of tuna, peanut butter and crackers,
Yeah.
Cheese and crackers, pudding and hot chocolate and things like that.
Yeah. Well, that's fantastic. So, and just to touch on what Title I schools are, the reason that there is a need for food on the weekends is that Title I schools are basically determined primarily by free and reduced lunch. A high proportion of students who are on free and reduced lunch.
That's correct, and about 30% of the children in Fairfax County are on free and reduced lunches.
Yeah, so you're definitely making an impact there.
Well, we're hoping so.
So, Cindy, who are your members? Tell us a little bit about who your members are.
Well, we're real diversified. Mostly women right now, but that doesn't mean that we will not accept men. This is just because it was started as a women's organization many years ago. It just kind of kept that vision. But we do have men that belong to other chapters across the country and so on. But anybody who wants to join, because we have our meetings during the day, it doesn't mean that you cannot be a member if you are a working person. And so it's interested people, and people really want to give back in this community. They're just really passionate about helping these children, and the children are so cute. They're so cute. Tell the story, Kathy, about the one driver who never misses packing, and he went up to somebody, a little kid, and he says, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And he says, "I want to be just like you." Isn't that precious?
It is.
It's absolutely precious because they're grateful. You know, I think these children realize that we're there to help them, and the drivers are there, and they see the same fellows every time, and it's very heartwarming.
Well, it's a trust relationship,
Of
and I
course.
think with children that's so important, is that they see familiar faces and they understand the sincerity with which these things are being provided for them. Like it's more than just the food. It's the kindness and caring that adults have for these children who need things. What are some of the other programs that you provide for the children?
All right, there's another major program that we have called New Clothing for Kids. So we contact counselors at 5 different elementary schools, Title I schools, and we ask them what are their needs in their particular school. So it may be socks or t-shirts or sweatshirts, coats, school uniforms, whatever that school needs, we try to provide them. And we hear some really heartwarming stories about children. There was this one story that really touches me about a little boy who came to school. The teacher asked him, "Well, why don't you have your socks on today?" And he said, "Well, it wasn't his turn." So he took turns with his sister. They shared one pair of socks. So the parents are also very grateful because lots of times when clothes are needed, they can't come to school to help provide a change of clothes. It also helps children feel proud about what they're wearing at school, and they can participate in school activities. There was another heartwarming story about a little boy who came to school, his only pair of shoes, his sole was coming off, and the counselor had to tape them together with masking tape. So we hear all kinds of stories like that, so we know the counselors at school are really grateful.
And this is a wonderful partnership, too, between the school counselors who are kind of the front lines, the classroom teachers, and the counselors are the front line of understanding what these children need, and then to have an organization that they can go to and say, this is specifically what's needed here, instead of you all guessing what is needed there.
That's right.
So tell me a little bit more about the programs. I know you've got some really amazing programs. I went to one of your membership meetings and I was absolutely floored by some of the things you've got going on.
Well, we have another program we call Literacy for Kids, and that encompasses us tutoring at 2 different elementary schools. So we send members who go and meet in one school. They meet in one particular room, and the children are brought to them. And in the other school, the tutors sit outside in the hall and they have children come outside and read to them. And the goal, of course, is to improve their reading skills and to improve their comprehension. We had another program. All of Assistance League had a special week called Action Week this year, and we were able to choose what literacy program we wanted to do, and we decided to choose one called Build a Child's Library. And what we did was we chose one elementary school where actually all the children are on free breakfast
as well
and
as
lunch. Right. And so we provided over 800 new books to every single child in that school, pre-K all the way up through.
And I think I heard some of that planning at the last meeting too. You know, they were talking about book labels and sorting the books by age group and helping the children to choose the books too. I mean, it sounds like a massive operation.
So each of the classrooms were able to bring their children down, and we had special tables for each grade level, and the children really had fun picking out their own books. And these books, brand new books, some children have never had their own book before. Not only have they never owned their own book, probably they don't have a book at home. So,
and that's one of the greatest predictors of success in the classroom, going back to the research in the 1960s about children having books in their homes as being a predictor of how successful they would be academically. And even knowing that, I appreciate the fact that putting a book in a child's home, knowing that it makes an impact on their academic outcome, is a marvelous goal. Cindy, being strategic planning chair, how do you come up with this? Do you have a committee that comes up when you?
We have a committee. We work so well together. It's a wonderful organization. Everybody really wants to excel in whatever it is, whatever our task is, and we do have committees that brainstorm. And then, of course, we include our membership, too. I mean, we don't want to make decisions and then say, oh, by the way, you're going to do this. We get everybody's idea and solicit everybody's idea, and we come up with a great product every time, so far. And
well, I love the fact that you're kind of open to the general membership's ideas.
Oh my, yes.
And that you can implement that so that you have more buy-in. And when we get back from this break, I want to hear more about what you've got planned. I know there's some exciting things coming up here in the month of April.
That's right.
So please join us after this break. We are talking with the Assistance League of Northern Virginia. That is Kathy Jackson and Cindy Burgess, and they're going to fill us in on how you can be a part of helping children here in Northern Virginia.
One day these rats were playing in the woods. Well, it's some matches and that's no good. Listen to smoke before you give it a try.
Only you.
Don't play with matches. Don't play with fire. Cause there's nothing very funny about life. Nothing very nice on a homeless mind. So if a gorgeous force is what you desire, don't play with matches. Don't play with fire.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Fire.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
Maria, so how's work?
It was fourth period biology. Our students just weren't getting how easily viruses spread. So Miss Bell and I had them role play a zombie virus outbreak. By the time they had all learned the lesson, all the living were dead. Hey, how's your job going?
That big sales meeting I planned? Next year, I might get to go.
Welcome back to Your Need to Know. I'm your host, Catherine Reed, and today we are talking with the Assistance League of Northern Virginia with Kathy Jackson, who is the president, and Cindy Burgess, who is the strategic planning chair. Ladies, it is so marvelous to have you here and to hear more about what you're doing. And when we went to our break, we were talking about the fact that your ideas come from your members and from your planning committee. And what kind of things are you looking for as far as projects and what impact it's going to have?
We want to reach as many children in our community as we can. And in order to do that, we have breakout sections with the membership. We have our programs. We want to increase our giving back, and so we solicit their input, and we've come up with great ideas. And just this year, we established an advisory council of local community leaders, and they're just rich with ideas for us, and it makes our membership really excited about taking their ideas and tweaking them and doing what we can with suggestions on how we can reach out and touch more children.
I think the idea of an advisory council is amazing
Oh,
because
it is.
those people can identify the need, and then you can figure out what your organization can do.
And ask us where do we want to go, how to approach it, and so on. It's been very beneficial, very, very exciting. And what's interesting is that the members elect to come to some of the advisory council meetings. You would think they wouldn't want to come to one more meeting, but they are so excited about the suggestions and challenges and so on.
That's amazing.
That I know. For a
Getting
whole
people to come to
afternoon.
meetings. I go to a lot of meetings. I'd like to get everybody there.
Exactly. So, our mission is transforming the lives of children through community programs. That's exactly what we do. And we want the public to know that every dollar raised in our community stays in our community. The money that's donated to us does not go to another community. It goes into our programs.
I think that is
really
really
And we're proud to say that we return 85% of our donated funds back into the community and into our programs. So we're thrilled with that. But we'd love to increase our membership.
Absolutely.
And, we are so grateful to the community volunteers. I wish you could see how many people come to our food packings. And they come as businesses. We had a cadre of folks from Target the last time, and they said, "You'll see us again. This was so much fun." The food packing takes less than an hour.
That's good to know.
Streamlined.
That is so good to know.
Streamlined. We have a wonderful committee that has fine-tuned this particular program, and we're doing well. We really are. We're small but mighty.
See, and I believe in small but mighty. And so one of the programs we haven't talked about yet, which is intriguing, is called Hugs.
Yes.
Hugs, Kathy.
Our Operation Hugs program. What that is, there are a group of ladies they live in a community called Dunbarton Oaks in Bristow, Virginia, and they sew heart-shaped pillows for us that they stuff, and they have a pocket in them. They bring them to us, and we fill them with toys and Beanie Babies, all child-friendly items. And we, approximately about 600 we deliver to a local clinic for children. It's actually in Falls Church. And
and that makes it easy for the kids when they're going to a clinic.
Yes.
To have something that makes them feel a little better.
Yes. They are thrilled. Their eyes really light up when we bring them through the door.
Yeah.
They're just very, very grateful. But it does help the parents who are bringing their children to keep them calm or when they're going through some kind of procedure. So we're really pleased with that program too, and we're really grateful to those ladies who are making those pillows.
So, to me, that's kind of, first of all, it is an awesome program, but you found these ladies in Dunbarton Oaks who want to sew the pillows. Does that kind of inform some of the development of your programs? Is like someone goes, I have a group that wants to do something, and you're like, well, we might be able to facilitate what you're willing to do. And
that's exactly right.
Yeah, because I can't. How do you find these ladies?
That's right. Well, they heard about the program. Kathy wasn't a member at the time, but this was our initial program when we were first chartered in 2004 and prior to that, because our funds were limited. And so the members were busy with their sewing machines and, ordering the polyfill by, by the pound and ton and this and that and the other. And the word got out, and then these members that live in Dunbarton Oaks, it is, right, said, we'll do it. and they do a phenomenal job.
600 is a lot.
It is a lot, but initially these pillows went to the sexual assault nurse examiner program at Fairfax Hospital. That was a very, unfortunately, a very active program, and this was very important for the children that were coming in for examinations and
Right.
so on. But we have now reached out to a pediatric clinic that has a need for it, and they look forward to the pillow delivery.
Well, it sounds
every
like
month.
you were very nimble and flexible as far as like we started here doing this and then we decided to do something else. So, and again, I look to your advisory council as a wonderful way to identify what the needs are and who needs your help. Tell me a little bit more about what you're going to do as far as offering opportunities for people to get involved, right?
Well, we're very excited always about having new members, and men and women both. We certainly invite folks to come to our meetings, to come to our food packings, and they can check our website to see that schedule. We also have like a fall fundraiser, and it's a social and fundraiser, and so we welcome people to come and join us there. We'd like people to help us deliver food, also deliver new clothing to schools. We have all kinds of
Jobs that
activities
people-
for
people
different
can do.
people. So we're also looking for some Facebook people and some LinkedIn people that might be able to help us get more involved in social media. So
Yeah.
that would be great.
It would. I mean, like I said, it's so hard to let people know what you're doing. You've been around for 15 years. I had never heard of you before. And yet we are kind of moving in the same circles, doing work in the same schools with the same kids, but kind of on our own. And that is fascinating to me too, how many organizations are actually in Northern Virginia providing services like this, but we don't seem to run into each other. So I also encourage people to go to your website and to find out what opportunities exist. And even if you only have time to do a delivery, or 1 hour seems like such a small amount of time to have a team of people come in and do the food packing. That is 1 hour. Most people have an hour to give to it. So tell me a little bit about, you talked about the fall fundraiser. You've also got a fundraiser coming up this month in April.
Yes, we do. We have our large fundraiser for the year. It's our annual spring fundraiser. And this year it's at the Country Club of Fairfax on April 26th. And it's from 11 to 2. And we have way over 100 silent auction items. We have some live auction items. It should be really a lot of fun, a really fun event. It usually is a lovely luncheon. This year, for one of our live auction items is a South African safari package. So we have 2 of those to offer.
2?
So that should be a lot of fun.
Wow,
I would
okay, that's
encourage
an incentive for
anyone
a
to-
lot of people to
Yes,
come
it
to
is.
South African Safari.
And we have a really impressive guest speaker this year. His name is Chris Beatty, and he is an ex-Marine Corps officer who did dog training when he was in service, and now he has his own 501c3 charitable organization called Semper Canine. He rescues dogs, and he trains them to be used as companions for Marine Corps veterans who have disabilities. So he's going to bring one of his dogs, so we're very excited to have him come and speak.
That is amazing, and that only goes to show too, there's such a network of nonprofits here in Northern Virginia. It's I haven't heard of him either. He might be the next guest on my show. It's like I've got to reach out to Chris Beatty. But there are so many people meeting specific needs. We have a lot of returning veterans who are suffering from a lot of mental health issues, and a service dog, a companion dog, absolutely fills a critical need. But it's great. How did you even find him as a speaker?
I think our resource development VP is nonstop. She's nonstop, and I think she just kept looking and looking and looking. And then she shared what the options would be for our speaker.
Right.
And then again, the membership had input as to what they thought might be the most attractive for outsiders and for themselves too. I'm really looking forward to it because my husband's a retired Marine. So we want to go and support our Marines. But this story with Chris is amazing because he and his wife started this business. Not only did they have dogs running around their house all the time, but they had 5 children too.
Oh my.
And so I'm interested to find out how that worked.
Yeah, that it seems like some people have a great capacity for activity.
Exactly.
Activity.
Exactly.
So I went to one of your meetings. I was invited by Leslie McKeever, who happens to live in my building. Well, that was another odd thing. I ran into her husband, and then I said, I'm doing a show on the Assistance League, and he goes, my wife is in the Assistance League, and then she invited me to the meeting. You know, I love those kind of serendipitous things where everything sort of comes together at the same time. But it's a very well-run meeting, and I was very interested in how your members actually come together and everybody brings a piece of what you're doing. And you were talking about the book program at that point, which is why I knew kind of the scale of what you were doing at this one particular school. But you know, people bring their expertise and their time and their talent, and it's quite remarkable. Do you have the meetings scheduled pretty much at the same time every month? Is that information on your website?
Oh, yes. We have it a regular third Monday of every month.
Third Monday, okay, that's what I was trying, the third
and
Monday.
again, it's on our calendar on the website, and we really do encourage people to come and just come and check us out and see what the meetings are all about and see what the programs are all about, and men as well.
True, and so I'm also a Rotarian. I'm with the Rotary Club of Centerville Chantilly, and we've invited Leslie to come and speak to our Rotary Club about the Assistance League, and I'm hoping that other clubs, whether it's Rotary or Lions or some of these other clubs that already are providing service to the community, will have one of your members come in to speak about how other service clubs can work with what you're doing. Donations, time, talent, resources.
Thank you.
Because all of us are trying to serve the community,
wonderful.
and it
That's
works
right.
better when we do it collaboratively.
Exactly.
So we're looking forward to having Leslie come, and I hope people will consider, what does it take to be a member? Just come to the meeting and say, I want to be a member?
Pretty much.
Pretty
yes.
much.
There's a form online they can fill out. They
Perfect.
just could come. Yes, we welcome them. We just would encourage anyone who'd like to join to come join us. We have a great membership.
This is a membership organization. We do have dues.
Right.
And we have a good governance. You know, we're bylaws and so on. We do things right. That's the motto of a National Assistance League. We do it right, and it's exciting.
Well, having been to your meeting, I can testify to the fact that I think you've really got a very well-run organization.
Yes.
And most clubs are membership-based and dues are involved, but you need the resources in order to provide the services.
Exactly.
I just want to say thank you to both you ladies. Kathy, Cindy, you have been wonderful.
Thank you.
I hope you've
you so
just shed a light for the people at home. And this is what you need to know about the Assistance League of Northern Virginia.